Plants vs. Zombies is not a perfect game, but it comes pretty close. I mean, really the only thing holding back the game right now is the resolution, because this game isn't in HD, so you can't play it in the HD resolutions, and so every time I try to play the game, there's black bars on the screen because it just won't fit the screen, because the game was just made for lower resolutions, and from what I know, you can't increase the resolution. But I mean, the art style of the game is perfect for this game, and the gameplay mechanics are top tier. They're just fun. They're just fun. This game is endless amounts of fun. I mean, I went to the game, back to the game for the first time in years. I used to play this game all the time on the Xbox 360, and I had a blast. I remember playing the game all the time, and it was a blast. So I thought, since I was bored recently, I would play Plants vs. Zombies, because I have Game Pass, and it's on EA Pass, and Game Pass gives you EA Pass, and EA Pass lets you play Plants vs. Zombies. And I could have played the newer ones, like the 3D ones where you play as the zombies and you play as the plants, and there's like PvP and I think some PvE stuff, but I don't remember having a blast on those games. I remember this game and how fun it was and how I used to play it all the time, all night. So I went back to this game, and the last time I remember playing it is at least 2013. Like, it's been forever, and it's my first time playing the PC version, and I really just wanted to play the endless mode, but I have to play the campaign before you can unlock the other stuff, like the arcade stuff and the endless mode. And I thought, oh man, I don't want to play the whole campaign again, and I don't want to get to the part where you're on the roof, because that was like, I just didn't like playing through that part, mostly because you have to place the pots down. I just remember not liking that part. But as soon as I clicked play, as soon as I started the campaign, I was just hooked, and I just wanted to play Plants vs. Zombies, and I didn't want to stop playing Plants vs. Zombies, because as soon as I started, it instantly was I just started having fun. The mechanics and the gameplay of Plants vs. Zombies is kind of simple when you think about it, but it's simple and just almost perfected. It plays so well, it's so much fun, all the different types of plants, all the different types of zombies, and the different lawns. The lawns don't really have much variety, but there is some variety. I mean, you have the daytime, nighttime, a lawn with some water in it, the rooftop. And just when you think the game might start getting a little bit repetitive, it just starts doing these crazy things, these like little modes, like walnut bowling, where you roll the walnuts down the lawn and just knock over a bunch of zombies, or just the cards that just go on the top and you don't have to collect sun or anything. It just gives you a bunch of random cards at certain times, and you just place down the plants as fast as you can and try to guard all the lanes in the yard. And most of the time when you look at Plants vs. Zombies, you look at it and you go, wow, that's a simple concept and a simple game, and really none of that matters, in a simple art style, but everything comes together so well to create a fun experience. And I know I keep saying that, fun, I just keep using that word, but a game's good when it entertains you, when it does something that is fun, it entertains you, and there is different ways to entertain different people. Sometimes it's with the just fun gameplay, the gameplay loop gets you. Sometimes it's the story that gets you. Sometimes it's the gameplay and the story. Never do you ever just go, wow, that was a great game because it had the best graphics. You don't ever do that. You don't ever go, wow, that was a fantastic game just because of the graphics. You go, wow, that was a great game because it was fun, because it was entertaining, because you had a great time with the game. Not because the graphics looked good, but because the gameplay kept you playing. Now, this game's weakest point is the story, and that's just because there really isn't a story. I mean, there is, but it's just like a silly, crazy, small kind of story that just gives it a little bit of plot, and the main mechanics are the gameplay. You get the cards, which are the different plants, and then you place down the plants in the lawn to defend your yard. And if the zombies get in your house, then you lose, and that's pretty much the game. Again, there are other modes like arcade modes, which are fun, and they kind of switch things up when you don't want to defend the lawn forever. There's an endless mode if you do want to try to go as long as possible. And there's also a tree that you can grow. I'm not sure how tall that tree can get, because when I used to play this game all the time on the Xbox 360, I kept growing and growing and growing this tree, and it seemed like it was forever. Maybe it is. Maybe it's an endless growing tree. I don't know. And you could also grow plants like marigolds, and you would collect these coins to then buy some upgrades. Also, the game had great sound design. It had perfect sound effects. The sound effects were just incredible, and the game had a great soundtrack. So, including the sound design, the music, the sound effects, and the gameplay, it just came together so well. And this is just something that a lot of games, especially AAA games, seem to forget, and that is gameplay is the most important thing in a game. Hence the name game, gameplay game. And I feel like a lot of AAA studios, or even some other games, smaller games that aren't AAA, a lot of games try to just give you a game and then just push a ton of microtransactions or just ways to get your money, and they don't really think about ways to keep your player playing the game. One of the most recent examples that I can think of is Battlefield 2042. They didn't really care about the gameplay. They didn't care what the Battlefield fans wanted. They just rushed out a game and then tried to do a battle pass, and they were going to put a bunch of skins in there and a battle pass and have microtransactions and all that, because that's all they were worried about. They just want to squeeze as much money as possible without even giving you something good to play. And there's a reason why Plants vs. Zombies has an overwhelmingly positive review score on Steam and other platforms, because it's actually fun to play. People like the game. The developers focused on making the game fun, enhancing, and just making sure the gameplay was refined and perfect. Nothing can be perfect, but as close to being perfect as possible before releasing the game. And I don't know why these people at these big studios don't realize this, but I know their heads are all like, how can we make the most money the fastest way possible without any effort? That's what they're thinking. But what they don't realize is if you make a game that is actually fun and people want to play, and you give the players what they want, it's going to be a super successful game. If you don't care about what's in the game or how the game is, or you don't care about your players even, and you don't do what the players want, well, the players aren't going to play your game, and your game's going to die. And one of the recent examples of doing the complete opposite of that and proving that it works, there's been multiple examples every year. There's examples all the time of this, but it's literally just look at games like Phasmophobia. That game is just overwhelmingly positive, because not only was it a new kind of game, but it gave players something fun. Elden Ring is the newest one. I haven't played it, but it has an overwhelmingly positive review score because the game does and gives the players what they want. I'm kind of getting off topic here, but it just really upsets me that games are just becoming more and more garbage by the year, especially AAA games, because gaming could be so good right now, but it's so not good. It's just so bad because companies don't care enough to give the players what they want, and they don't care about actually making anything good. They just care about, hey, give me all your money. I don't care what I'm throwing at you, what I want you to spend your money on, as long as you're spending your money on it. And some people, you need to stop buying these bad games all the time. Sometimes there is a bad game that is fun. It's so bad it's kind of fun and good to play. But stop supporting these bad games. I know it will probably never happen, and I know Plants vs. Zombies 2 is on the phone, but it's not the same as the first one, because again, there's all that, it has all the mobile game stuff, and we all know how the mobile games are. Those things are just not consumer friendly at all, and I really want Plants vs. Zombies 2, like the first game was, just improved, or even a Plants vs. Zombies remaster. Forget all the mobile stuff, forget all the stuff that goes on nowadays. Give us a proper Plants vs. Zombies 2. Don't make it a 3D game. I want a 2D game just like the first one, and just improved. Add some of the newer plants, but in the 2D form, just like how the first one was, and improve on all the mechanics and everything. Add more plants, add more like gardening stuff, add some more arcade modes, add some more puzzles, customize the zombies more, and maybe even some plant customization. You could do that, fine, but make it like the first one. Don't change it, because the first one was already almost perfect.